All right, welcome to a brand new edition. Another one. It's Overpromised, our bonus podcast. Things we don't have time for throughout the week. We've had a busy week. We're in for Colin Cowherd, you heard? And of course, our regular show airs from 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East, Fox Sports Radio. And again, it's always fun doing this show for you. Now, today, we're going to talk about kids' sports and umpires. Everybody had that wackadoodle umpire in their little league. I have a few videos. Is this guy doing too much or not? And like I said, we'll talk traveling sports and whatnot. And of course, the most famous celebrity fans for your favorite NFL teams. So let's get into it. I'm Covino. That's Rich in Texas. Dicky Tejas, everybody.
Dude, are you down with OP? Overpromised? I am. Let's do it. I did want to point out that we missed a very important birthday yesterday.
Oh.
Fred Savage. Wonder Years. Your favorite show as a kid. He turned 48.
Hold on. I did and do love Wonder Years, but that's your boy. You didn't send him a balloon, edible arrangement, something?
I should have.
You didn't wish Fred a happy 48th? In a weird way, I feel like we grew up with Fred. We're around the same age, right? We were around the same age when he was kissing Winnie Cooper. And I wish him all the best. I think he's an underrated, funny talent. Fred Savage. You're his biggest fan. You should be embarrassed. I don't know anybody that represents Fred Savage more savage than Rich Davis. Savage AF. You wear that t-shirt more than anyone I've ever met. Every photo we have as a show, Rich is wearing that shirt with every celebrity under the moon. Is that your goal, like to wear that shirt with every celebrity?
Let me tell you, it's one of those shirts that kept making it to the top of the t-shirt pile, and until you pointed it out, I didn't realize how savage AF I was.
So savage.
Honestly, if you go to CovinoRich.com, go to our Instagram, if you scroll enough, you'll see that like 25 times.
125 times. Rich is savage AF. I always thought Randy was your favorite savage. It's not Randy.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Ben. It's Fred. He's our number one. But when I think of Fred, I do think of, you mentioned it, Wonder Years. What would you do? The greatest cover song of all time. If I sang out of tune. I think of Paul Pfeiffer. I think of Wayne Arnold. And I think of Kevin Arnold, his character. And Kevin, I think of the New York Jets. He was the biggest fan. He had that jacket. He rocked it proudly. And I feel like when it comes to celebrities, he's their number one celebrity fan. Kevin Arnold, Jets fan. Not Fireman Ed.
Okay.
Not whatever celebrity comes to mind. Kevin Arnold.
Now, was he just a Joe Namath front runner, being that the show was in the 60s? Like, is he just like, is Kevin Arnold just like you were in the 90s with the Yankees?
Yeah, I'm not a front runner. I was from and born in New Jersey, grew up loving the Yankees. It's possible. I don't know the history of Kevin Arnold and why he rooted for the Jets, but that was his team, and I think of him. And this coincides with this really bunk list that came out this week. We were talking about it, and our producer on Fox Sports, Danny G, was like, this list is bunk. This is a weak-ass list. These are the celebrities, the most famous celebrities, and the teams they root for. Now, some of them are dead on. Some of them are like, no way. F sakes. What? No way. So we decided to go over our favorites.
Now, I look at that list, the bunk one. I was wondering who rooted for the Chargers. Apparently, Mario Lopez. Look at that. Who knew?
Yeah, you didn't know that? He's always there supporting. Yeah, he supports them, and of course his Dodgers. He's an LA dude. He's a big supporter of that.
Now, if you think Kansas City, listen, the Chiefs. Of course, you could say Taylor Swift. Of course, you could say Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family, a big Kansas guy. But Paul Rudd is using his super celebrity to get down on the field. We've talked to him about hanging with the players. So Paul Rudd is definitely in the mix as a super fan.
There is speculation because on that list they say Taylor Swift. But again, she's dating a player. Is she really a lifelong diehard fan? Or what about Henry Winkler? Oh, yes, I'm also a big fan. But Paul Rudd's been there, and he represents Kansas City all the way, in my opinion. I agree.
I was just doing the research, the hard-hitting investigation. Wonder Years took place in Southern California. See, I can't judge because I'm a New Yorker that's a Niners fan, but Kevin Arnold, Jets jacket, Southern California?
Hey, maybe his
I don't
dad,
know.
maybe Dan Loria got it on sale at Woolworths or something. I don't know.
Maybe
that's
so.
Yeah, maybe that's how he got the jacket. I don't know the backstory, but I know he's a big fan. So Paul Rudd, the dude is there. He's there with his kid. He's a big time celebrity. Looks great for his age, but also synonymous with the Chiefs. He's a diehard. And our next one is Chris Pratt. When I think of Chris Pratt, I do think of the 12th man. I think of Seattle. How about you, Rich? I think super famous Seattle fan.
Can I tell you a true story?
Sure.
I feel like I should get credit for something I don't get credit for. You know how you're the guy? What's the rock band that you gave the endorsement to, and you're like, and then they blew up? Who was that again?
Godsmack. True story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're new to our show, I came up in rock radio and I vouched for them. We kept them on the playlist, and then they blew up throughout the rest of the country.
Well, I met Chris Pratt, name drop, when he was married to Anna Faris.
I mean, we were all there.
No, but I interviewed him a separate time because I was doing multiple shows, and I remember pulling him aside because I was a Niners fan, still am. He's a Seahawks fan, and I said, yo, have you used your super celebrity powers yet to raise the flag at a Seahawks game? 12th man? And he's like, I've never thought of that. Fast forward a couple years, I see him on like Monday Night Football, and I'm like, shit, there he is. My idea.
And Rich wants the credit, and there you have it. Made it happen. And I want my Godsmack credit. I want my platinum record. But Chris Pratt, big time fan for sure. Now, another guy we've had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing a bunch of times, we actually met him one time in particular with Antonio Brown because he was a diehard Steelers fan, Joe Manganiello. By the way, this is before Antonio Brown went cuckoo's nest, cuckoo's nest.
Yeah, it was also before Sofia Vergara and now after Sofia Vergara. But yeah, Joe Manganiello is a diehard Dungeons and Dragons dude and a diehard sports fan.
I saw him recently too. He got his DNA checked and he found out Manganiello's not even his real name. Joe Melelele, isn't it? Apparently he thinks his last name is Jones. I'm not even making this up. I'm like, you know what? Stick with Manganiello. It's got a ring to it. But definitely a Steelers guy through and through. I think of him as the number one famous Steelers fan. And of course, there's others, guys. You want to add to the list, hit us up at Covino and Rich.
Who do you think Magic Mike wants to start? Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
I'm thinking Magic Mike wants, I think he wants Fields. Yeah, I think he does. Start. Yeah, I think he wants a fresh start. And what a backup, huh? So our next guy, this made that list, that bunk list, and it's undeniable because I feel it's been cool to see the Lions and the NFL and Eminem all embrace. Like, it's been cool to see him be embraced by the team and him embracing the NFL and all his appearances at the drafts and everything else.
I loved how he was trash talking fans when they played the 49ers.
Yeah.
I love how Eminem put his cool aside and did like a skit with Roger Goodell. That's how you know he's invested in the Lions, when he's like, all right, I'll do a bit with Goodell.
That's the thing. Eminem almost seems a little too cool to do things like that, but it seems he has a great relationship with, obviously, Detroit. He's from Detroit, 8 Mile, but with the fans, with the team, and with the NFL. So when I think Detroit, I think of Joel from the Dan Patrick Show. I think of Perfect, and I think of Eminem. Yeah.
Well,
that
Eminem,
being said, I hope our very own Dan Byer isn't upset that we didn't think of him when it came to Seattle.
Well, Eminem, obviously, like you said, really embraced the team. Last year, they went on a great run. Eminem, a big year for him because not only was he seeing his Lions win, The Death of Slim Shady comes out this Friday. So if you're an Eminem fan, you know Houdini was breaking all streaming records. His new album, 2 days away, buddy boy.
And I saw the cool artwork, so props to him. And someone who I believe was left off that bunk-ass list, and Danny G was real upset about it. Yo, not only am I the number one Raiders fan, but what about Ice Cube? Yo, Ice Cube and the Raiders, synonymous. And not only that, like anyone that wanted to be hard, like NWA growing up, we all rocked that Raiders starter jacket because Ice Cube and all those dudes were rocking it. That's why. Raiders, Ice Cube, it's like peanut butter and jelly, bro.
Wait a minute. I thought you were just a huge Lyle Alzado fan. Okay, no.
No, I just wanted to be hard. I just wanted people in junior high to think I was hard in my Raiders starter jacket, like Ice Cube. And Rich, the coolest fan of all.
Yeah.
The coolest fan of all. And he's good
By
looking.
far.
Yeah, he's so good looking, it's gross. Rob Lowe. He's an NFL fan.
He's just a fan of the NFL. The National Football League embraces this is their super fan.
There he is, the Brat Pack. He's a big fan of NFL. He keeps it generic. Actually, I think he's a Colts fan, but in this case, and on this day, this infamous day, is that Rob Pelinka or Rob Lowe? No, it's Rob Lowe. He's an NFL fan. So, like we said, who else comes to mind? Do you hate that list? Do you hate our list? Do you hate our picks? Chime in. Who do you think of when it comes to celebrity fans? Maybe there's an underrated person, someone we're not thinking of. Hit us up at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio, hashtag overpromised. Now, go ahead.
It's sort of a fantasy of mine that our show becomes so big one day. We're getting there. I would love for people to think 49ers would be like, oh, that idiot Rich Davis likes the Niners. I think of you and I think Yankees. I mean, you when you care so much about a team, it's almost part of you where you sort of hope people think of you, right?
What makes you say that? This Franklin mint-ass statue of Aaron Judge or the Mo Rivera I got behind me? Someday. You know what? That is an interesting fantasy, Rich. To be cool enough where at least, maybe you're not the most famous celebrity fan, but you're part of their little montage of hype videos.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium, make some noise.
Don't all your fantasies somehow involve the Yankees?
Yeah. I have a fantasy. It's me, Jessica Alba, and Aaron Judge. Oh, wait. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
So, that being said,
where's the
I do think he's right, though. When I go to Citi Field to watch the Mets back in the day, there was a part of me that's like, man, Kevin James, that big goon, he gets on the big screen. He's like, yeah, it's Kevin James. Let's go, Mets.
That's
and I'm like,
cool.
Oh,
That's so cool. Absolutely. That would be awesome for anybody. Now, again, I mentioned earlier this week, we filled in for Colin Cowherd, and we got into a discussion just sort of impromptu out of nowhere. I forget how it came up, but it was about travel baseball and travel sports in general and how there's this sentiment amongst our friends and online on social media that for as fun and as great as it is, it's tearing families apart because there's so much stress involved, so many expenses involved. You got this parent going with this kid, you got mom going with that kid, and there's no family time as a result. And did I mention it's expensive?
Yeah. I remember how it came up because I'm visiting family in Texas. You're headed to Jersey. The more you talk to your old school pals whose kids are, little or maybe becoming teenagers, there's this odd pressure to go above and beyond. My buddy Nick's kid is 9, and they're like, you should get him a health and conditioning coach. He's 9. Are you serious?
You gotta get him off the Pez dispensers. Give him some salads to eat. What do you do with a 9-year-old kid? Yeah. But you're right, because you don't want your kid to fall behind, right? If you're not enrolling your kid in these expensive camps and travel leagues, then they're falling behind amongst their peers, and you don't want to do that. So people are putting themselves in compromising positions, and money is stressful and money is tight. And as our buddy Akbar said, Akbar from American Ninja Warrior, he was like, yo, this is too much, and as much fun as it could be, why are they dipping into my Sundays too? Bad enough I'm giving up this day and that day and all this money. Can we have Sundays off as parents, as families, for the greater good of family time, religious day, whatever it may be? Can you stop with the Sundays too? Because then how does a parent who works all week, how does he get or she get a chance to even relax if you still got to do this stuff on a Sunday?
Last year, one of my biggest gripes was my daughter was playing T-ball, 6 and under girls softball, and I coached. It was Sunday early morning, and we're on the West Coast, so I missed the first quarter of every early football game, and I'm like, hey, can't Dad get a day to himself? It's absurd.
Which is
Sundays, Saturdays, every day.
A drag and still rewarding at the same time. But with travel ball, you're going to, as my dad would say, out of Mongolia. In your story, Rich, at least you were local and within the town perimeters, right? Most people travel into places I never even heard of to watch their kids compete or to take them to camp or whatever the case may be. So
that being kid doesn't
said,
suck.
I know, right?
Imagine like you do all that traveling and you watch your kid on the bench.
that being said, I saw a few videos that went along with Little League and baseball, and All-Star Week coming up. Baseball's in the air. We're halfway there almost. I saw a video that garnered a lot of back and forth when it came to the commentary, the comments, and the feedback, and I figured I'd bring it up to you. Now, I do want to preface by saying this. There's a lot of trash on social media. So is this better than the trash we see? Absolutely. Okay. I'll take this any day over the trash that we're flooded with. But is this umpire awesome, as some people are saying? This is the best umpire ever. Best Little League umpire ever. Or is he doing too much? And we have a few other videos, but take a look-ski at this umpire, Little League umpire.
Okay. All right, I need a hose here. Hose it! That's not a hose, that's yips. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are the baseball moms ready? Play ball! Throw gas! Oh! Oh! Two! By you! Ball! Oh, runner! Oh! Oh! Dude!
Best catcher in the nation.
Best catcher in the nation. Timeout. What's the count? 1-1. Oh, Bubba! How's your foot, bro? Need a water break? Can we get a water break, please? Is there ice?
I love this
Do we
guy.
have ice? Do we have beers? I'm kidding. Let's go. No. Oh. Ball. I don't think pitcher likes you, man. I want you to hit a tank and pimp it. Come on. 1-2.
I don't know, man. So, wow. That last shot, bomb. And the umpire starts doing his dance moves because he's so involved. Now, there's some people saying we need more guys like this.
We do.
And then there's actual Little League umpires that are like, I've dedicated my whole life to working with these kids, and it's not about you, dude. Like, you're doing way too much. It's about the kids. There he is shouting out the moms, hey, focus on the game, umpire. I'm just telling you again what the feedback is saying. And there's other people also chiming in saying, hey, dude, you're the umpire, and you have an important job, and you have great impact, and we all remember our Little League umpires, the good ones, and sometimes the bad ones. Hey, Rich and I share a commonality that our first ever paying job was a Little League umpire. I was 13 years old. We both did.
I loved the little part-time 15 or 20 bucks behind the plate. It's a great first job. I think this guy, he might be a little much, but do you rather a guy enthusiastically encouraging the kids and having fun, or some shitty old ass like umpire?
By the way, Rich, I believe it was $15 behind the plate, $10 to umpire in the field back in the late 1900s, when we were teenagers. Right. Now, other people are saying hey, he's the best or whatever. Other people are saying, umpire, leave it to the coaches. You have a job, and that's their job. Leave it to the coaches. And I do see that. You got coaches working real hard all week with these kids, or a parent is paying all this money we talked about to work with their kids, and you have an umpire like throwing his 2 cents in on how a kid should play. I don't know. I feel like it's borderline doing too much, but I can't be that mad that he's having a good time and trying to create a good atmosphere for the kids. Whether or not you think it's too much, I think we could all agree his intentions are to provide a great memory for these kids, which is good.
Umpires, I play men's softball, and I know it's not the same, but some umpires show up and they're assholes. Other guys chatted up with everyone like, dude, have fun. Now, it did make me think of other ones where, do you think the umpire's gone too far, or is it funny? Look at how this guy calls out a runner at home. Have you seen this, dude?
No, let me see.
All right. I think this is
Watch the umpire.
Plate to plate. Got her.
Yes, I have seen this.
Starts to a little shuffle, then punches him out.
Look, they're having fun. Baseball's fun, but it does go back to the previous video. It's about the kids. This isn't your showtime to go viral. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't your moment. This is their moment. Let them have their moment. People are there to enjoy the kids and watch them play.
All right, I need a hose here.
So
hose it!
What you're saying is they're not the Savannah Bananas? Have you seen the Savannah Bananas umpire?
Let's see the very famous Savannah Bananas umpire.
Get silly. Get silly. Get silly.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
By the way, that's Angel Hernandez. That's what he's doing nowadays. I think we all agree they're better than him, right? See, now, Rich, I may be crazy, but I feel like he's doing a little too much. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know. And since we're talking about it, my favorite all-time umpire is... Do you remember the whole Enrique Palazzo thing? Do you remember that?
Look, it's Enrico Palazzo, of course.
That, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think too much or not? Now, I bring this up, Rich. The great Enrico Palazzo. It's Enrico Palazzo, right? As Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure shouted out. He's clearly doing too much. Is it that different than what the first guy was doing? And you're thinking he's great? So maybe there's something to be said there. I don't know.
That's not a hold. That's yips. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready?
Leslie Nielsen now?
You know what, Covino, I got to say, when I was a kid, I think I thought Leslie Nielsen was doing a split. I don't think I realized it.
What? What do you mean?
I mean, I was probably 8 years old when that movie came out. I remember thinking, wow, Leslie Nielsen could do a split?
You're the dumbest kid ever.
Picture being 8 years old, right? 8 years old, you're watching this. I'm like, wow, Leslie Nielsen could do the moonwalk?
You're an idiot. You've seen the movie 30 times since then. What a dumbass. And by the way, they're remaking that with, or rebooting the character with Leslie Nielsen, if you haven't heard. But you can't say that he was doing too much and the other guy isn't. I think there is something to be said about everyone truly thinking they're the star of their own movie and they're going to go viral and everybody trying to make it all about them all the time. And of course, there's that fine line of we want to make things fun for the kids. You know what? You make the call.
Yeah,
you be the umpire. You decide.
Everyone thinks they got that main character energy. Well, hey, listen, if you want to chime in, like Covino said, umpires, super fans, all at Covino Rich. We'll see you guys later on. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the overpromised land.
Goodbye. Later.
Too much.
He really does a split. Look at him.
Dumbass.